Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. So we have yet another Winbridge product. This is called the original S388 voice amplifier. This is a wireless system. Pretty cool. I've been kind of wondering if they were going to come out with something with a wireless headset. And they have. Anyways, the link will be in the video description below if you're interested. I have the Winbridge website up so you can buy from them directly if you want. Unit sells for about $108. I'd imagine that would be US dollars. But you can also get a lot of their amplifiers as well on Amazon.ca and .com. I didn't find this one on .ca or .com yet, but it is actually on their website. Like I said, link down below. So let's check this little puppy out. So we do have, of course, our amplifier unit. Okay. And let me just give you a close-up. So I'm going to have to be bopping back and forth here, but this is what our main unit looks like. Okay, and it does have the strap hooks as well. This is the wireless headset part. Now this is actually really a unique setup because you can wear the headset if you want to, and then you're completely hands-free, or you can just simply unclip it. You just rotate it and you can straighten out the mic and talk right into the mic and use it as a regular handheld mic. Some people do not actually like headsets. I know in the beginning, number of years back, I hated the idea of headsets. It's like, I want a real microphone on stage, right? And then once I got into the headsets, it's like, I guess these are pretty cool after all. You know, I mean, and I got used to using it. It's still kind of weird sometimes to me with a headset, as a singer at least, because I have to watch a little bit more carefully how I do things, but I also find that I'm not as loud. You know what I mean? Like when I'm singing, I'm not quite as loud as I would be, you know, yelling into a mic, right? Because you're holding the mic, you're used to something like that. But as a, you know, guitar player, I don't have the freedom to walk around and play and sing at the same time unless I'm using a headset. But if I have the mic in a stand, yeah, I'm okay. But the problem is, too, that I've discovered over the years, back and forth with this stuff, is that you tend to move your levels in and out a lot with a regular mic, right, in your hand. Whereas this is in a fixed position. Once it's set up, you're good. You just got to learn to still be more vocal into the mic, and then your sound engineer has to control your levels. So you can work it out, you know what I mean? But I do like this idea because there are people who are speakers that don't like headsets on their head. It just feels wrong to them, or they just find it uncomfortable. So the advantage of, you know, being able to just simply twist this downward and yak into it, that's perfect, because that gives the person that ability. So great idea, Winbridge. I think that was really nice. So that's definitely a really good bonus there. So we also have, of course, a charge cable that is Type-C USB, as well as a 2-amp charger as well. I believe this is 2-amp, or is it 3? I forgot. 3 amps actually, which is actually pretty good because that's a faster charge time. It's a rapid charger, so you've got 3 amps worth of power being generated here. So that's actually really good because most USB chargers are about 1 amp to maybe 2 amps that are in this size of a block. This is a 3 amp. Then of course we have our strap. Now the strap, of course, is for hanging this thing around your waist. Although for me, I think because it's a wireless system, I actually wouldn't want to use the strap. I don't want this thing hanging around me, you know, because the other thing is too, is if you want to get louder, you have to watch the distance between the microphone and the amplifier, which we have found out with some of their other units too, is that when you're too close to the amp, it's going to feedback at high volume. So you got to kind of be careful about that. But nonetheless, if your level is under control and not feedbacking, you can still, you know, adjust this to the length you need and clamp her on and away you go, right? Wear it around your waist. So, next part is the manual. Now the manual here is pretty detailed, all right? So we do have quite a bit of information, but don't freak out. It's not that scary, okay? It's just they do it this way, which I think is great, because then you can just kind of like compact fold it up like so, and it's like perfect. Now I did find one error in the manual that kind of like, all right, because I'm trying to bind this headset to the amplifier at first. I'm like, that is not working, okay? Because they say to, you know, to turn on the headset, right? You got to push and hold and keep it there, but you got to turn the amplifier on first, obviously. And it puts a little mode indicator up, and then you're bound. Well, that's actually incorrect information in the manual that needs to be corrected, so we're going to show you exactly how that's done today. All right. Now, what I want to do too is I want to get you a bit more of a close-up on what's going on with the box here. So that's where I'm going to move my camera. And so bear with me, it's going to be an instant change for you. Okay, so let's turn on the amplifier. It's going to greet you with the word high. And it's going to give you a quick flash of your charge rate too. Now it does take about 2 hours to recharge the headset mic from basically dead, and about 3 hours the same for the amplifier. Now they will come with quite a bit of a charge in them already, so you can basically take it out of the box, test everything out, make sure it all works great, and then throw it on the charger. Now they only give us one charger and one cable, so you can only charge one item at a time, which is something that I think they should have, like a Y-split type cable and one charge block, or a charge blocking cable for each item, so you can charge them both at the same time. Otherwise it's like, you know, waiting forever. Okay, so that's something that I think should also be additionally added to the kit, you know, as well as correcting that error in the manual. Okay, so if we just initially paid attention to what they said about the mic, you just push and hold, and it should switch the display on the amp. They say a long press, but it doesn't do anything, okay? So we have to turn the mic on first, actually, okay? Press and hold the mode button a couple seconds, and you'll see that there's a flashing little indicator that says like UI on it, and now our headset is actually bound. So now we can, we should be able to just turn up the volume here. Now I'm at 14 now. Where the microphone is placed to your mouth is going to determine too how loud this thing can become. They say it's 20 watts, and you guys know by now how I feel about all those ratings, right? So anyways, but these units are quite loud when it comes to playing black music. That I will definitely give them. So in that case, I'd say, well, they're kind of a little bit more realistic. Now, what you're hearing now is my voice through the amplifier, obviously. Okay. Now, they say you can play and sing along and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, as far as speech goes, it's fairly clear, I would say. Now, in the manual, they also cover that you can actually bind one headset to 5 of these amplifiers. The thing is, you're going to have to buy 5 complete kits. Now, this would be handy if you're in a extremely large area and you need to really get out to your crowd, right? Because this is only going to get you so far, right? Then you could strategically set up 5 of these amplifiers, put them all at the levels where you need, right? And of course, again, watch your distance. If you're too close to the amp, especially at louder volumes, it will feedback. So you'll have to figure that out for volume versus distance and all that. But with being able to have the ability to go up to 5 amplifiers and then create a huge room, this actually does save you, especially if there's no equipment on site, it does save you a lot of money than, you know, buying a professional PA system that puts out 10,000 watts kind of thing, you know what I mean? Right? And you can get pretty good clarity with these things if you're just talking, right? Now, as far as the whole playing and singing goes, well, let's give you a little bit of an example anyways. You're not going to hear the guitar through the amp, but you'll definitely hear me. And this is one of my songs, as per usual, YouTube rules, right? serve you, Lord, for the rest of my days. I want to be like Jesus. I want to make the lame to walk and the blind to see. Open up the prison doors and set the captives free. So it works rather well, and this would be great for a guitar player that just wants to have a little bit of their voice heard more. Because to get over top of even an acoustic guitar, especially this beast, it's a very loud guitar. But regardless of that, guitar and vocals need to be able to project, and your vocals need to project higher level than your guitar does so that people can understand the words, right? Otherwise you're swamped. So this would be handy even for doing stuff like that, for maybe a little bit of busking, right? I mean, it's amateur hour, let's face it, you should have a more professional amp for that. But if you're doing this just like, you're a teenager, you don't care, and you're at the park and you want to make sure everybody on the planet hears you, grab one of these amps. They're inexpensive, they're only $108. Grab your guitar and go have some fun. But also if you're doing speech presentations and stuff like that, or you want to be heard more in the classroom because you're a teacher, etc. Maybe you're a tour guide, right? These things are great. And it's really great now that it's a wireless headset, because those wires are annoying. They can be, right? I find a guitar patch cable very annoying. Let me get this thing turned off of the mic system. So press and hold just on the mic headset, and it'll shut it off. It'll put that as flashing in the background, so it is ready to rebind. So if I turn it back on, it should rebind itself.
And there we go. Again, the closer your mouth is to the mic.
But then you can also distort really easily too. Okay, so, but the wires for me always get in my way, which is one thing I don't like about headsets, even on stage, is unless I can put the wire in just the right place, it annoys me, right? So this is one of the gripes I still have about wired headsets when I'm on stage. So, but a wireless system, now that's bonus, right? Because then you have the freedom to go anywhere, right? And I have tried wireless headsets out in the past, because there's a company, I can't remember, it's on my channel though, they make a professional wireless headset, but it turned out it was better for speech and instructors, sort of like what this does technically made for. Not so great for singing though, right? So the technology definitely has to come up quite a bit, especially on pro level gear for wireless headsets for musicians. But as far as the wired systems go, I mean, they do work really well. You just got to get around that whole wire thing. This is fantastic though, because I like where this gives you that freedom, even as somebody doing a speech, class, whatever, right? This is great. You can walk around, do what you want, get away from the amplifier. You can turn the volume up loud enough that, if you've got just the right amount of distance, your voice won't distort, nor will the amplifier feed back on you. But like I said, you'll have to figure that out, as you go. Now, this thing also has the capability of recording your speech files, okay? It will do that, and it does it really well. It's just a simple of, putting in a USB stick. Now, I formatted one under exFAT, and what I'm going to do just to save some time on the video, trust me, the recording feature works fantastic. To play back the audio, you can either use the mode button or the record button to play it back once you've stopped your recording and it's saved. But as far as, playing back music goes, just simply plug it in. It says USB.
1, 2.
Starts to automatically play. It's fantastic. This is one of my songs.
I feel with a new heart. I touch with new hands, and I hear with...
So I find with these amplifiers, honestly, when it comes to playing back music files, these things get really loud. Okay, so they do have quite a bit of power there. So fantastic that way. They're not as loud on the speech side, but you can get quite a bit of volume out of them when you have that mic close. Just don't put it too close to your mouth, because then you get that P-plosion stuff going on, which can really annoy people. But you know, because certain letters are what creates what's called a plosion, right? And it's kind of annoying. But you'll figure it out. But you can still get lots of volume out of these things and still not get the plosion stuff going on. Because the windscreens on these mics do actually work really well. Okay? So we're paused right now. So we just now, if I had more songs on here, of course, we could actually just, you know, go ahead with that and go fast forward, rewind stuff. But anyways, you can play multiple files, right? But I play my own stuff, like I said, because of YouTube rules and stuff, right? Now, if we're going to do this, if we go off of mode, we go back to another screen like this, okay? And at this point, if we wanted to, we could actually press and hold the mode button again. We got our flashing thing. You know what? I'm going to do a recording for you guys. What the heck? And we are live. So we press quickly record. Quickly. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That stops it, saves it. Now, I'm trying to remember how to replay this thing. No, that's going to re-record another file. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yes, long press. No, that's going to re-record another file. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Quickly. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. No. And it'll keep playing that in a continual loop, and unless you set the record path or the playback path, because you can have it to you know, go through once or just continually repeat kind of thing, right? Anyways, so the supported audio formats are MP3, WAV, WMA, APE, and FLAC. Now, with this other cable here, I think we missed that. It was here. They gave us an 1/8 inch cable for hooking up a, you know, like an MP3 player or your phone direct. So there it is. That's what was hiding. So we also get this cable. Sorry about that, guys. That was my bad. So we just plug this into the side, okay? Right in here, we've got our charge port, our USB port, auxiliary in. Auxiliary in, of course, obviously for your auxiliary device, be it a phone or your computer. Maybe you want to use this as an amplified speaker, a cheap solution. I mean, some people don't care about audio quality on their computer for playing video games or watching, you know, listening to a speaker. They don't want the high-end stuff where they can't afford it. So hey, this is a cheap solution. It does everything, including works as a computer speaker with the auxiliary port, and then plug into the back of your speaker output on your computer, and voila, you got an amplified speaker. You also have a mic input. Interesting, isn't it? That's because you can use wired mics with this. So they made the allowance that should anything happen to your wireless system, because one of these days you will be off warranty, okay, you can simply pick up any cheap mono plug-in headset type mic online. They're like $2. I've bought them before, and they actually work really well. I got some from, I think it was Wish. I got a pack of 2 for like $4, you know, and you can plug them in, you know, and voila. And if you have other Winbridge amps already, because you've, you know, played with a few of them, they all came with wired headsets, and you can use those wired headsets, no problem, compatible with this as well. So third party or Winbridge's own stuff will work in that mic jack. And like I said, with this cable, you know, if your phone has it or your iPad or Android device, whatever, okay, and you want MP3s going that way, I have an old school CD player, believe it or not, still with anti-skip. The good old days. I can plug that into this and play music through this way, portable anywhere, because it runs on batteries. This runs on batteries. Okay? So anyways, you do get several hours of runtime, regardless, on the headset or the amplifier. So you've got tons of runtime there to get through your jazz that you need to do. Said recharge times are like 2 hours on the headset, 3 hours on the amp when everything's completely depleted. It does have a 2500 milliamp battery in there as well. They say the speaker working time in the manual here for the speaker is 10 to 12 hours. And as far as the mic, 2 hours runtime. So basically, you've got 2 hours on the mic and 10 to 12 hours playback through the amp, whether you're using a mic or music or whatever. So, you know, even 10 to 12 hours if you're just playing MP3s through this thing, fantastic, you know, and it's going to get rather loud. It can get very obnoxious, okay? Even with the microphone, it can get very loud, but you're going to have to keep some distance from the amp. Anyways, there you go. So check it out. I like this kit. I think they should do more and more wireless headset systems like this. It's very practical. It's hands-free. It allows you to get away from the amplifier, crank her full blast, you know, and get out to your crowds or whoever you need, right? That is great for the wireless systems. You know, I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy this. I know I'm definitely going to have some fun with this now that it's a wireless system. Because I hate having, you know, the amp on my side and the headset, you know, kind of thing. But for doing wireless stuff and just, you know, even doing some fun stuff, you know, even for future YouTube videos, this kit for me is definitely going to have some really good advantages for me, more so now than before, and that's going to be really cool. So stay tuned for those videos, because you'll be able to tell from the sound of my voice if it's coming through an amplifier or if it's just me. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Thank you, Winbridge, for once again sending me yet another of your products to test out. I think this thing is a pretty cool little winner in my books. Everything works absolutely perfect. There's no problems anywhere, which is great. It has got a pretty good, decent sound quality to it, so happy with that too. I think you did a really good job there. As far as the rating goes, guys, here's the deal. Nothing in this world is perfect, so you're not getting a 5, but you're also not getting a 4 3/4 either. I think it definitely does fully deserve at least a 4.5. I'm only going to ding a little bit, only because I think as far as the charging system goes, it should have been either a split Y adapter charger or a separate charger and cable for not just the amp, but also for the headset. Okay? Either one. And Y adapters are not that hard to produce. I have micro USB Y adapters so I can charge 2 things at the same time off one power supply. Now that would increase your charge time even with the 3 amp charger, but I'd rather, you know, go the extra time and do it all at once, right? Than instead of doing independently. So I think that's something that needs to be addressed. Also, the error in the manual as far as binding this unit goes. Now I know we didn't test the Bluetooth in this video, but the Bluetooth does actually work quite well. It's just a matter of, you know, going to your phone, turn on Bluetooth, you'll see the name of the amp in one form or another come up on your display, because there'll be something, oh, I never saw that before. And you just simply click on it on your phone or device, and you bind it, and you can do stuff wirelessly from your device, okay? But rest assured, the Bluetooth does work, and it works great. But you are going to be limited with Bluetooth, don't forget. You only have up to, what was it, 33 feet or something with Bluetooth devices. So it's not going to be a super long range on Bluetooth, right? And you'll know when you're running out of range on this. It's the one thing that also I didn't see covered in here was what is the range distance. I will take a second look through the manual though, but just give me a quick second here. No, it actually does not tell us how far away we can be from the amplifier. 1 to 2 centimeters from the mouth for the mic. That makes sense to avoid howling. Yeah. No, it actually, believe it or not, it doesn't tell us how far away we can be from the amplifier. So you're going to have to take your best trial runs at it and see how far you can get away. I know in the room here, I've got a small room. It's only like a 10-foot room, and I have no problems. When I was actually doing my playing, I was actually, I'd say, roughly about 6 feet from the amp. Not a big deal. I'm pretty sure we can easily get quite a bit of distance. But we may be limited to the same 10 meters as what Bluetooth would be. We may be limited to that distance. And 10 meters, by the way, in translation is 33 feet. So, anyway, further testing, of course. But I think anybody's going to appreciate this thing quite a bit. Next thing I'd like to see them actually come out with, and then we'll get out of here, a stereo version. You know, like a larger version, you know. Maybe a few extra features, perhaps, of some sort. You know, but a stereo version, you know, so we got 2 speakers left and right type of thing, and maybe some extra controls for maybe adjusting our vocals, you know, for bass and treble at least, or bass, mid, and treble. Maybe that would be something for a more advanced unit down the road kind of thing, you know, and maybe a bit more advanced mic element so that we have that control. That's just putting an idea and bug into your ears there, guys, over at Winbridge, because I know they're watching my videos because I have to send them the links. Anyways, thank you again so much, Winbridge. Thank you guys for this time you spent with me testing it out. I think it's a great unit overall. Check it out, and hey, if you can make use of something like this, fantastic. Anyways, until the next time, see ya!